So we're talking about Rekieta's new judge.
Yeah.
So Rekieta requested a new judge because the judge that was assigned for his case, which, by the way, is still the judge in his ongoing civil case with Montegraph.
Wait, what?
But, yeah. So Judge Fisher, the judge that Rekieta insulted on live stream,
Yeah.
where he, like, called her stupid and a dumb bitch and said that alcohol pussy juice was running out of her vagina.
Yeah.
So that was the judge that is in charge of his civil case where he's getting sued by Montegraph for defamation. That judge was also assigned to be his criminal judge in charge of the drug case and the gun charge and the neglect. So Rekieta obviously wanted the judge changed, not chained.
Mm-hmm.
And LawTube, all the lawyers we brought on, Sean, Legal Mindset, and all the lawyers that I heard from said it was going to be impossible for Rekieta to get this judge removed or changed. They said, oh, yeah, well, if that was that easy to where all they have to is insult the judge to get the judge changed, then there's, everybody would get the judge changed, or, criminals would be able to keep the courts going forever, da-da-da-da-da. I guess none of these esteemed lawyers of LawTube actually had a look at what the law in Minnesota says, which to me is pretty fucking jokes. It just kind of hurts the credibility of all of LawTube.
No.
And they were so confident about it. Every single one of them was so confident when they said to me, there's no chance this judge is going to be changed. But yet, here we are. Rekieta submits the paperwork, because what the law says in Minnesota is, hold on. No, don't go into the judge.
Yeah, I'm not showing anything, don't worry.
Yeah. That's the one.
All right.
So what the law in Minnesota says is that within 7 days, if you request a different judge, it will automatically be granted to you. So Rekieta almost fumbles this. You got to understand, Rekieta submits the same paperwork for himself and his wife, which, by the way, goes to prove, because Kayla is apparently now representing herself, and Rekieta's also representing himself. But it's clear he did the paperwork for both of them, because the same mistake is on both sets of paperwork. So Rekieta sent in this paperwork asking for the judge to be changed, and instead of it being Kendayoha County or whatever it is, the actual county, it says the county of Anoka. So they really could have just thrown this the fuck out and allowed the judge to stay in place, but they're just like automatically granted it. So a lot of people try and say, like, this is Rekieta's big-brained legal mind. He scored this massive dub, getting the fucking judge changed. But no, in fact,
it's just lenient as fuck.
It's just super lenient to the point where they actually accepted it, even though there were errors in the filing for both Rekieta and his wife. And this goes to show, by the way, there is no conspiracy against Rekieta.
At all.
Because if there was a conspiracy in the office, wouldn't they just shut down his request and leave him with Judge Fisher, the judge who's biased against him? So ultimately what this does and what this has accomplished is removing Rekieta's biggest cope. One of his big fucking, oh guys, it's rigged against me. Now on appeal, he doesn't get to claim, well, it was Judge Fisher who was biased against me. Evil Judge Fisher. Well, evil Judge Fisher has been removed from the case. So that cope no longer exists. And there you see on both of Kayla and Rekieta's forms, both of them are wrong. Both of them are wrong. So this is the new judge.
Legend.
This is the new judge in charge of the case, and I think it's the same judge that handled the arraignment. I could be wrong about that,
Okay.
but he has a reputation as a no-nonsense judge, and he's a judge who tends to handle cases of drugs and child abuse. And he's known for being very strict and very tough.
Let's go!
Oh, Rekieta may have actually felt it himself by getting it changed from Judge Fisher to this judge. Honestly, it's only really hurt him because it just removes the excuse that the judge is biased.
Yeah.
We now have a new judge, and the judge, let's go to his record, and let's have a look at some of the cases he's ruled on and what some of the punishments he's given out, because some of these cases are similar to Nick's case, although a lot of them, are for higher amounts of drugs. So let's go into the folder there that says judge's record.
Okay. 1 sec. There we go.
So this is Judge Stephen Wenzel. So this guy in his court, a Wilmer man, was sentenced this week to more than 8 years in prison for selling methamphetamine. So this guy, it was a plea deal as well.
What?
He pleaded guilty and got 98 months in prison for selling meth. So
on first time,
I don't know. I don't know.
But that'd be interesting to see.
That's a pretty fucking stiff sentence. And Rekieta might be facing a similar sentence. I don't know. This woman was sentenced to 85 months in prison. They got 100 grams of methamphetamine and more than 200 grams of marijuana. She pled guilty, and the judge gave her 85 months.
100 grams, Jesus.
Here's another instance where this person pleaded guilty to felony third-degree drug possession, felony fifth-degree drug possession,
71 months?
And so this is the case that's probably the most similar to Rekieta's, where there's a possession charge and a gun charge.
He's done.
And this person got 71 months. So I'm not really sure if it was a wise decision on Rekieta's part to get the judge switched out. I'm just a layman. But when you look at some of these cases, it's not like he's super lenient. This one, somebody got 33 months for felony drug sale and felony arson.
And then 23 months.
And then an additional 23 months.
Yeah.
So I don't know. People saying that this was a huge W for Rekieta.
He's doing 4 years.
He's probably going to end up doing some time, especially when he's showing no contrition to the court. He's not going to rehab. He's not admitting any wrongdoing. If he fights it to trial, he might get a sentence like this.
Okay, everyone's asking for the tard bell for Nick.
Well,
this is a retard alert, yeah. Oh, man, that's brutal. God damn, that's a stupid idea that he did.
And then we go to Kayla's bond.
Okay.
Let's quickly show this.
Yep.
So this shows now she's out on the exact same bond that Rekieta's out on. So they've put up $100,000 in cash in order to be able to avoid random drug testing, piss testing, whatever. They put up $100,000 so that both of them don't have to do it. So chances are both of them are using right now.
And this is crazy now with this. This is crazy with the story we have coming up in this, topic. April's back. Nothing has changed. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's like not 100%, but we'll see. We'll see.
Chances are she's back. So let's go here to number 3. We're taking a look at Rekieta's new streaming set.
This
is the setup he's got?
No, this is the old one. Because Drexel posted this in 2022.
Okay.
In 2022. That's believe me, I wish.
It's a fucking filthy mess, man.
Look over here on the bottom right.
Is that a power pad?
Well, yeah, there's the power pad. The power pad.
Do they have a power pad?
And they got like 9 empty bottles here. You see, April, if she did suck his cock on stream, she'd have to crawl through this. The desk is big enough, and she'd have to pull.
It's big enough for her to fit there.
That's a filthy studio, isn't it?
It really is.
There's a hammer.
It goes to show that, what Aaron was saying and what the police were reporting about it being a filthy shithole is probably true.
It's disgusting. Look at this.
Buddy, like, look at like the wire management is just absolutely scuffed.
It's done. It's horrible.
What are all those in the background? Are those fucking like mangas, like animes, or are those DVDs, or what the fuck is that? Like, are those books? Some of them are books.
I don't even know. Look at this. This is a weird studio. There's like a rag here. Look at this shit. What the fucking?
Why is there? Okay.
Why would you release this photo?
It was Drex that put this photo.
Yeah. Well, look down here. Is Drex pantless?
Oh, is that? I thought Drex was a lot more black than that.
I don't know, but there's
I thought that
knees.
was Rekieta with a tan.
Whose foot is this?
Is that Kayla's? Is that Rekieta's?
I don't know. That's a scary foot, isn't it? Look at that. It's like a fucking shark.
Scuffed.
That's a demented. Is it webbed to toes?
The carpet is fucking filthy too, man.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Look
at this.
And that's the sort of fucking carpet that like they install on public buses and like public places that like cities put in so the stains don't show up. That's so grimy.
What a grime.
Dude. And they're barefoot in that shit, walking around on all that filth and grime.
And you have like all the flakes and debris stuck to your foot. And you have to wash your fucking foot.
Oh.
That's brutal.
Oh my god. Yeah, his immaculate carpet, right?
Yeah.
This one's courtesy of the Kiwi Farms there.
Farms there. Look at that.
Farms.
Who cares if he drops
He needs to lick the bottle to stop the droplet from staining his immaculate perfect carpet. By the way, this goes to show, and this is also supportive of the claim that Aaron's about to make, that the dog would just shit on the floor.
What?
Let's go there. We're going to have a look. Aaron's been spilling the beans even more.
Wait, real fast.
On his show recently.
Apparently, do you know this woman, Nina Infinity?
No.
So she's blaming us for attacking, like for the whole Nick attack, defending EVS and saying that it is the kid's fault.
I just don't know. Why do people think it's a good idea to blame it on the children? Like, do they think it's a good thing for their reputation that like people will side with them?
Like
nobody is siding with that other than shameless grifters who are desperate to maintain a relationship with a washed-up e-celeb who might be prison-bound, who's coked out of his mind and abused his children, and potentially his dog. And you want to have a relationship with this guy?
Yeah.
It's just shame.
Oh, and it's like the casino is like, we're the ones who fucking... No, it was the pastor and the 5 people who reported it. And I'm glad they did. I'm glad he was reported.
It has absolutely nothing to do with us, him going to fucking prison.
Yeah, it's his own fault.
It was his own fucking hubris. It was him burning relationships with people at the church, him showing up drunk, high out of his fucking mind to church, his children having their clothes stinking, his children saying they're hungry to members of the church, and him refusing any sort of counseling or intervention from the church because he believes he's better than those incel prude losers at the church. That's what's led to this position for him. He decided to choose cocaine over his 5 beautiful children and the wonderful life that he had that was on complete easy street, where he had a trust fund, he had a YouTube live stream bringing in fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars. Over the lifetime of the channel, he brought in $1.2 million in super chats.
Yeah.
But it wasn't enough. He had to have this Hollywood lifestyle that Dick Masterson preached, where you're just drunk and high all day and fuck your kids.
It's beyond the 1 point whatever million. It's the Rumble deal, also sponsorships, plus other stuff. Like there's all the monetization. There's other income, right? It was probably like 3-4 million. Let's be honest. Right? Plus his trust fund. But now we're being like, who cares?
And
what a dumb bitch. What a dumb bitch.
I haven't shown these. I didn't put them in a folder because I'm not really, like, I feel a bit bad to show this, and maybe we will show it
the
at
church?
some point. No, what he's thrown away. When you look at the photos of him with his kids, like at the water park, like on the log flume ride. When you look at the photos of when he first started the law office, and Kayla's pregnant beside him, and there's all this promise and there's all this hope, and it's so wholesome and it's wonderful, and you just consider how much he threw away. It's really stark. It's really sad.
It's a lot too. It's
just disgusting. It's disgusting.
It's your whole life
fucking done
for drugs.
And so, I'm not going to show that on this show. But that stuff's up on Kiwi Farms, and I think it does illustrate just how much he threw away. But we're not going to show that.
No, yeah.
Even though the kids' faces are censored and things like that,
it's still like.
But it's just like, but people just don't understand what he's done. Like, they detach themselves entirely from it, and they only look at it as like a business opportunity or a business associate, and they're not understanding just the sheer depravity of what this man has done to his family, how he's traumatized his children, how he's destroyed the reputation not only of himself and of his wife, but also of his children, that now everybody in the community knows that their mother was getting fucked by Aaron Imholte. Like, think of the shame of it. Like, and these kids have to go to church, and everybody at the church knows about it. All of their family knows about it, and they have to bear that burden. And they have to bear that fucking shame. And their life hasn't even started yet.
Yeah.
So it's not just that Nick Rekieta decided to snort some cocaine to have fun on a weekend, and fuck, he got busted, and it was unfair or bullshit. No. He systematically chose drugs and a hedonistic lifestyle over his children and his marriage, to the point where he's destroyed everything around him. And so that's what we're criticizing. And if you can't criticize that, you've really lost the plot. You're really out to fucking lunch. And these people are out to lunch. They just think, I'm going to make all this money with Rekieta and being his business associate, and you're not. The grift is over. It's melted.
And
it's never going to be what it was. I'll tell you that now.
It's like Nina Infinity, like, shut the fuck up. How about that? Shut up. Like, if you're going to support him over us, like, expose, like, EVS, like, you're supporting EVS of all people, of like any take. At least Barnes is acting delusional and retarded, whereas EVS is the kid's fault. At least,
and somebody is asking, why didn't the grandparents intervene? From what I understand, the grandparents live in Florida, so they're not as close to the situation. But we do know that Kayla's sister, the aunt that lives close to them, did try and intervene. And it might have been her talking to the grandparents that led to this intervention. We don't know exactly how much any of the family did or how much the church members did. But I imagine there was a fair amount of intervention and a fair amount of chances before this point, because we were constantly hearing Rekieta bitch about how the church was trying to constrain him or family was trying to constrain him. So I imagine they did try with him several times, and he told 5 members of the church to fuck off. And it was probably the last straw. They're like, we need to do something. The kids are hungry. The kids are stinking. This is degeneracy of the highest order, and it had to stop, and it did stop, and the children are in a better place, and now it's just Rekieta, Kayla, and probably April is back there, and they're destroying their own lives.
Yeah.
At least the kids aren't party to it, and hopefully, I don't know what's happened with this dog. Let's go into folder 4 here and have a look at what Aaron has been saying recently. So first we have him. This is it. The divorce is official.
She signed the papers.
She signed the papers. Him and April are officially divorced. So there's another marriage that's been destroyed, sacrificed on the altar of Rekieta's hedonism, his degeneracy, his desire to swing and cock and be cocked. This entire marriage just totally burned down. It's destroyed. Amazing.
I'm laughing. The chat's just putting in a plus. No, but yeah, no, for real. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It is fucked up. I mean, it's better that it's done.
It's
okay. Here's like the shorter version. You want the shorter version or the longer version? Longer version is like 5 minutes. I mean, we could do the longer version if you want.
All right, you want to do the longer?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. He explains it. Here we go.
So this is him basically saying he thinks that April is back at the Rekieta's house because the mail is going there, which is crazy. She was in a situation, if she is back there, she was in a situation where she was handcuffed. She was brought to jail. She was processed in jail. And that wasn't enough after getting the charges dropped to scare her straight, to have anything to do with the cocaine and the cucking and the swinging. She's just decided she still needs those drugs. And if Rekieta's going to supply those drugs, she's going to be there. And that's an insanely foolish decision. Let's have a look.
Chad Zumach, it's a development in my life. I was informed by my auto insurance company that a claim that had been made back in March that I was aware of, my now ex-wife hit a deer, and she had not gotten any kind of estimate or got any money sent out for this claim. And it got the check for the claim got sent out yesterday. And I called the insurance company and said, hey, just wondering, where's that check headed to? Seeing as it's my insurance. And sure enough, it was Spicer, Minnesota. So
that's where the Rekietas live. Now, when you think about this, it's kind of crazy because it might honestly mean that there was no plea deal, there was no flipping, there was no snitching on April's part.
Yeah.
Because if she's still there, I guess she didn't snitch. She didn't turn on them. Maybe the police, because it was somebody else's house and, they couldn't charge her with possession. It was hard a case to make. They dropped the charges on her.
Yeah.
And, she's still involved with them. But that's absolutely insane. After the house has been raided and everything
and
like
been exposed on the internet, everyone knows about this now. You know what it is? It's probably like what you said. She's probably on drugs, right? Or obviously was on drugs. And this was not rock bottom. This was not.
And it's not for the Rekietas either.
Which is insane.
And they're doubling down on the polycule.
What the fuck?
Which is one of the most degenerate parts of all of this, if not the filthiest, sleaziest part, that they're engaged in weird polycule cuckery on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And they're going to continue that behavior, even as it shames and humiliates their children, as it shames and humiliates their reputation online and hurts the business and hurts the super chats and all that. They're still going to persist in that? That's filth, man. That's crime, man.
I bet, too, she didn't think that he would have phoned the insurance, right? And, her tweet, remember, I didn't do this. This was someone else did this, to me. She's probably referring to Aaron. How much want to bet she's throwing Aaron completely under the bus?
Under the bus.
You brought me there. You bought the drugs. Yeah. I bet you she's saying he bought the drugs and shit too.
And let's say he probably shouldn't even be saying this shit because let's bring it up. If this is true, it's a big Aaron L.
Why?
Massive fucking L. Because his wife is now Rekieta's sex slave. Forever.
Yeah, well, he's divorcing her.
He's utterly fucking cocked. Well, no. So, he doesn't have Kayla. True. He doesn't have April.
Yeah.
He's just a totally cucked out bitch. His fucking wife is snorting coke off Rekieta's penis right now. Getting dicked down by Nick Rekieta and Kayla in degenerate fucking orgies. He's felt it as fuck.
Yeah. No, it's felt.
It's bad.
It is a felt thing, but he threw her out at least, I guess. I'll say that, yeah, it's cocked, but at least.
She's taken the Balldo.
He divorced. Now, he's going to say here, apparently, so he's divorcing her, and she apparently wanted him to sign an NDA before the divorce. Now, watch this. This is interesting.
I think after the arrest, the band got back together.
So wait, they sent it to Nick Ricotta's house?
Yeah,
Nick Ricotta?
Isn't that
That's
something?
Almost as good as Rekieta.
How is that
I like how Aaron doesn't even fucking correct him,
illegal?
I don't know if it is or not, and I wasn't gonna be a dick and cancel it or anything. I wasn't gonna be a dick and be like, "Oh, that's the wrong place." I don't.
Aaron,
why not?
You should have canceled it.
Bring it up. Another L.
Aaron.
Aaron.
You should have canceled that shit.
You got Balldo'd again.
Fuck that. Cancel that,
Balldo'd
please.
and bamboozled.
Now, oh my gosh. And Ash, you know where that check is going, right? Right to the coke dealer.
Yeah, no, it's going right up her fucking nose.
Yeah.
Who needs a vehicle when there's snow bunnies?
Right? Yeah.
shit, it's over. I get to, move on with my life and get away from that shit show. But I just, I can't believe, like, your life is fucked up as it is, and now you're going to go back into the place that got you into all this trouble. I mean, best of luck.
So wait, so she was, it was your policy? It was a joint policy?
Yeah. I think she's still on it. I'll take care of that this month. But
then she could just change the mailing address?
Or the
how
address
does
that the
that
check
work?
was sent out to. Yeah, I guess. I didn't know you could do that, but she did.
If it's in
And,
Aaron's
You should
name,
have
how can she
canceled
do
it.
that?
Fuck that bitch.
Yeah.
Don't they have to check with you? Aren't you the primary insurer?
Apparently not.
I mean, it is my policy. She's on it. I mean, it's her vehicle. She's on.
Who is this again? Is this Kevin Nealon?
I don't know.
I'm pretty
my
sure.
policy.
Isn't this
so-
guy a little old to be live streaming? This guy looks like he's 1 foot in the ground.
Kevin, what's his name? It's Dave Landau.
Oh, I don't know.
David
my name,
Landau.
but my
It's
name
not
is
Dave Landau.
on the check. I wonder if
Brennan. Kevin Brennan.
Jim Brand Felt is saying this is a low-key admission that he changed the address. Did he change the address himself to Spicer? Because that was his plan as well, to move in over there. I wouldn't be fucking surprised.
Whoa. Wait.
Because as of 6 weeks ago or whatever, they were all cool in the gang. And this apparently happened in January, this car accident. So it might have been that Aaron himself changed the address and he's blaming it on April. Would not be surprised.
The
Because
mystery thickens.
He's going to say in the next video or one of the videos we're going to play that the plan was for them to move into the other house the Rekietas own next door. And for them to form a permanent polycule where they would be raising Rekieta's children.
Wait, you make a point
and the
there.
Rekietas would be raising his kids. So that was the plan. So he probably already moved all of his shit over to that address in anticipation of that. And then something happened where he got totally brutally cucked. And now it's over. And he can't handle being cucked on this level.
I wonder if I'm going to have to endorse that as well, which that'll be funny.
How do you know your name's on the check?
It's well, they send you like on the app. They show you what they sent, and my name is on it.
So it's both of you on the check.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
What the? Kevin's just like,
I don't
what
think
the
he
fuck?
believes. I don't think he
I don't
believes
know.
him.
I don't know.
To meet at the check cashing place downtown
Right? Yeah, that'll be very interesting.
where George Floyd got killed.
Yeah. Her and Chrissy going down making fun of George Floyd Square. Yeah.
Oh man! All right, so but you did sign the papers.
Yeah.
So I guess
I
right
sent-
now, by the way, as well, I just heard in chat that Nina Infinity is banning anybody who questions her nose guarding. So I would advise people, if they wish, to go give Nina Infinity a piece of their
Nina
mind.
Infinity.
Nina Infinity is defending this shit. Saying it's the children's fault.
She's saying it's the children's fault and that we were wrong for being critical of Rekieta?
Right.
What?
I just think every single day proves us more and more right that we were righteous to be critical of Rekieta.
Thank God.
And the people who are sweeping are more and more wrong every single fucking day. And next week, we're potentially going to get the body cam footage that I think will be the final nail in the coffin on all of this shit.
Yeah.
And like, I just can't wait for that righteous day of vindication where all of these Jannies have to face the fucking felt and snap their broomsticks.
Yeah, exactly.
Or else face judgment fucking day.
Apparently she's seething about PPP. She better be. I'm seething about her supporting children going hungry.
I mean, that's what's crazy.
How about that?
It's like, I might be a fat fuck, but I've never stolen food from children to support a coke habit. That's her guy. So I don't know how she can really defend that. It's not true. Okay. All right. Let's hear out Aaron. Here's some more.
Before the arrest, it was looking like it might get a little back and forth. And then after the arrest, it got signed pretty quick.
So wait, before the arrest, she thought she might hold out on you?
Well, she wanted an NDA. She said, you can't talk about me on the show. I'm like, you were a co-host on the show for years. I talk about my life on the show. I'm going to talk about my divorce on the show. I'm divorcing.
I also kind of think this is bullshit.
Whoa.
I don't think she wanted him to sign an NDA so he didn't talk about her on the show. I think Rekieta was trying to get her to have Aaron sign an NDA so he couldn't talk about any of the degenerate shit that went on. Aaron is always telling like these half truths that we have to like divine the real truth out of him, because he knows that the real truth makes him look really fucked up and really horrible. So he has to tell these half truths. And it's the same thing when he, like, on our show, he was trying to claim, oh, the children never went hungry, they were fed, whatever. Then a few days later, it comes out that the children were hungry and stinky. And then he's ranting and raving about how we should have fed the kids. And I tried to fight to feed the kids, and Rekieta wouldn't let us feed the kids. Stuff like this. So the guy is desperate to try and spin any narrative to make himself look as positive as he can, instead of just admitting the real truth. It's very sad.
Yeah.
I'm not signing. And my lawyer, too, was like, we're not signing an NDA. No fucking way. And she was kind of holding steadfast on that. And then after the arrest, there's really no way you can get an NDA after something like that. So it got signed, and then we were done, last Thursday, I think? Last Wednesday,
So you can't get an NDA after because it would just be laughed out of court?
Yeah, I mean, you're a news story now. You got busted in a house full of drugs, guns, and children. I mean, yeah.
Sounds like a Warren Zevon song.
It really does.
I offered her $40,000 a year, but
So this guy, did this guy offer April $40,000 a year to work with him?
What a waste of money. I mean, she would have been having to do some extra work, if you catch my drift.
Wait, did he?
To earn that $40,000.
Uh-oh, apparently Nina's getting felted in her check. Good. Keep going, guys.
Well, she's pissed off because Sean said that it shouldn't be a 16-year-old's responsibility to take care of his parents.
Yeah, she's shitting on Sean.
Losing her mind about that.
And shitting on Yellow Flash, saying Yellow Flash is actually evil for going at Rekieta in the DMs.
How about you just use common fucking sense and realize that it's the parent's job to parent and not children's?
Yeah.
You know, it ultimately, the buck stops with the head of the household. It stops with Nick Rekieta. He's the one responsible for this massive failure and shame upon his family. It's not Sean's fault. It's not my fault. It's not anybody's fault. It's his fucking fault.
Yeah.
And you can't sweep it up. It's over. And you really think that he's going to reward you? Like, is he paying you to defend him?
Now, apparently she's telling her own chat to fuck themselves because our people, exposed the truth. It went, why are you doing this? Yellow Flash is cool, by the way. If you hear it, Yellow Flash used to be friends with Nick. He's, devastated this happened. And he's like, fuck Nick. He's like, I can't believe I'm even saying this.
This is, full-on Balldo bunker bullshit.
Yeah.
Hey, straight up. You're sitting in the bunker coping and seething about stuff that's already been, settled. It's already basically a settled matter that the guy is a fucking scumbag and his reputation is destroyed. You, Nina Infinity, will not be fixing said problem. These are problems that Nick Rekieta himself needs to deal with, and only Nick Rekieta can solve. Why she thinks she's going to come in and get all this support for doing that is crazy.
And you're going after,
He rage quit.
Hang on.
What a shame.
Look.
I love her argument, by the way, that,
OBS
I'm fat and I'm an incel. Regardless of if I'm fat or I'm an incel, Rekieta still didn't feed his kids. He was still caught with 26 grams of cocaine. He is an alcoholic caught jerking off or getting sucked off on live stream. He's a bum. He's a loser. And he's in the midst of 2 different court cases, one civil and one criminal. And I'd far rather be a fat incel than whatever the hell that mess is.
No, but the thing is, too,
I'd rather be a fat incel than a literal cuckold.
Yeah.
You know what to say.
And by the way, it's you're going to go after Yellow Flash for what? For yelling at his friend? That's what a real friend would do. Is fucking knock it off, you retard. That's what a real friend does. Not go, it's your kid's fault. Nina Infinity,
That's crazy, man.
You are the Friday fucking main course. How does that feel? You know what? Fuck these people. I'm sick of it. We're not even being unreasonable.
Sweeping is disgusting. No,
we're not even being
like not today.
No,
like today we're just like chill. We're going through it. I'm not ranting and raving and screaming and hollering. Just like quietly delivering a reasonable, common sense take. Oh my God, can you believe what they've done to poor victim Nicholas Rekieta? He's not the victim. He's the victimizer of his own family, his children, his dog. He hurts the helpless. Are you fucking kidding me? He's completely abandoned, derelicted his duty as a father, and just told his children to starve and be stinky because daddy needs an 8-ball. That's wild.
Sorry.
There's very few people on the internet that are as disgusting and depraved as that. Seriously.
You're in fact downplaying it. You're being nice.
I know. And this is a guy who told us he was trad dad, wholesome family man, father of 5. The kids are homeschooled because we can't trust the public school system's filth. I don't know. I almost trust the public school system's filth over having to see the children be parented by a polycule.
No, I do.
A bunch of coke-headed polycule alcoholic degenerates with ketamine pills versus the public school system. I don't know. That's how crazy we're actually defending the public school system at this point.
I hate that we have to even consider that idea.
Holy
shit. Hey, Ash, it's your fault and it's my fault. We're the ones who never fed the kids and put the coke up his fucking nose.
Yeah.
It's our fault.
It's our fault. It's Josh Moon's fault.
It's Yellow Flash's fault.
It's the Kiwi Farms, guys. No. These are the people that we've listed who've documented the downfall. The downfall is still on Rekieta. But he was so stressed. What a pussy. What a little bitch.
You know what I mean?
I'm so stressed.
I'm stressed.
Or the cocaine.
Imagine.
He's a grown man. He's 42 years old.
Yeah, stressed. Take coke. What?
And Jimmy DeGriz says, then take a break. And he did. He only streamed like once or twice a week and completely abandoned his locals bonus content. And even still, it was too much stress. Like, I have to say it, if you can't feed him, don't breed him. He made the choice to be a father to 5 children. And then he made the choice to neglect them. Once you've decided to be a father, you're locked in. For those 18 years and really for their entire life, you need to be with those children. You need to provide and protect for those children and give them the best chance at success possible. And he didn't do that. He's a failure as a man. He's a failure as a lawyer. He's a failure as a YouTuber. He's a failure all around. And the mess cannot be swept. Least of all by Nina Infinity.
Who? Holy shit.
I saw that.
I don't know if I don't think she's gonna go for it, but it is gonna be hard for her to land a job, right?
Well, I mean, I thought, to be honest, I thought if she would have went back to her hometown, I thought she could have done what she did before she came aboard here. And she could have went back and did like the painting at the factory and made decent money doing that and rebuilt her life.
What he's saying is that Ethan Van Sciver is blaming Eric July for the hate campaign against Nick.
Stop! I said that as a joke.
It's time to actually just leave Eric July the fuck alone. So we're supposed to believe Eric July is puppeteering Josh Moon. He's puppeteering Mr. Medicare. He's puppeteering the Kino Casino.
Whoa!
Who could believe such bullshit? Who can believe such Balldo washing fables? This is insane.
And Nina Infinity is defending the statement? What?
Eric July.
He makes comic books. And guess what? There are people who like it.
I'm sorry to say, like, Eric July is not Lex Luthor.
Dude.
You know, like,
it's so funny
more
you said that.
hysterical than saying Gabe Hoffman's behind it all.
Yeah, it's
like,
so funny that I said Lex Luthor.
Like, this is crazy.
That's what I always picture. Like, he is like the black Lex Luthor for these guys now, right? Because he's just like in the background, but he's controlling everything. That's how they see him. Sorry, EVS. People just buy his comic books. You want to know why? Because he sends them to the people who buy them. And guess what? He makes them pretty quick.
Maybe if EVS had delivered on his goals,
Cyberfrog 3 years late, like.
I know. Perfect is the enemy of good. Are Eric's comic books perfect? No. Are they done? Yes. So you're like, well, you gotta wait 20 years for my perfect vision. No, actually, we don't. People would sooner get a product that's good enough and actually is in their hand and they have it than magically. It's the old saying, a bird in hand is better than two in the bush.
Yeah.
Do you understand? It's retarded. And how much better is fucking Cyberfrog really than Eric's comic books? It has to be like a magnitude of 10 times better to justify the wait, does it not?
One day, you know what we do? One day, we read the first Rippaverse comic and Cyberfrog back to back.
I know.
One day, we're going to review, and then we're going to have a fucking voting sesh. How about that? And by the way, it's like...
EVS said the only reason people are going at Nina is because she went after Eric, and Eric might be the mastermind behind all of this.
I didn't even know that until a minute ago.
This tonight on his live stream.
Wow.
There's just so much retarded nonsense going on with this stuff that you can't keep up with.
The mastermind.
By
the way,
so are we trying to say that Eric July planted the coke, or like that Eric July influenced the church? So it was Eric July who set all of this in motion, who contacted the pastor and said, I'm making the call. Like, come on. Who can believe this lunatic shit?
By the way, do you know what Eric July's, what his take was about this whole Nick? He offered Nick Rekieta money for rehab.
He said he'd pay for Rekieta's rehab. Generous July.
Generous July.
Generous July.
What
Eric
a king.
July offering that to Rekieta.
What a king after everything Nick has said about him. Nick has said the worst things about him ever. I'm pretty sure including the N-word. Yikes. But fucking, he offers him fucking...
So what this really is, I'm just going to say this now. They already know they've lost anybody with a brain in their fucking head. Anybody that's normal, anybody with a brain, anyone with any sort of morals, anybody with their head screwed on straight, they've already lost them. So they're just looking to keep the most diehard Balldo washers in line by giving them some sort of cope conspiracy to believe in. And the hope is that the people are so delusional and so dumb and deluded by their worship of Rekieta as their internet daddy, their father figure, this conservative king, that they'll just go along with whatever conspiracy to justify it and sweep up his sins. And it's going to work for a certain portion of the audience that just, no matter what, doesn't want to believe he did anything wrong. But they're going to lose the vast majority of people, and they're going to lose credibility in the eyes of pretty much everybody else. So I don't know if it's really worth it. It seems really dumb.
Oh, and by the way, so Nina is running cover for Anna, aka that Star Wars girl,
yeah, but it's
and Melanie Mac.
It's like desperate attention whoring from these women. Like Star Wars girl, Melanie Mac, Nina Infinity. Like, I don't even know who the fuck these people really are.
Yeah, Ash was telling me earlier, he's like, who?
I just don't even give a shit. But the fact of the matter is they are inserting themselves into this, trying to make it all about them so they can take the slings and arrows for Rekieta, because they're all a part of these grifting group chats where this conspiracy comes around to defend Rekieta, to suck every last drop of profit out of him. And the moment that it gets too fucking hard for them to defend, you'll see these people switch up real quick because all they give a fuck about is making $1. And that's where they see that there's money in Rekieta still. He's going to make a comeback, and it's just delusional.
Imagine caring about $1.
Well, money is important. Money is important. Let's not fool ourselves.
I'm just kidding. I'm fine.
Money
is
really important, but if you have to defend a child abuser, cokehead, degenerate, who's a cuckold and in a polycule in order to make your money, you are a pathetic fucking joke.
I like how you're like, whoa, Andy, let's not get crazy here.
We just went on like a half-hour detour based on what's going on tonight.
You know?
And now we have a whole bunch of this Rekieta stuff still to go through. We're almost 2 hours in.
I love it. It's all watch time to me. All right, you ready?
There you go.
Are you ready?
Life, like her name's gonna be changed.
Okay, we got it. Relic 888 at Andy Morsky. DM me RN with that. We have Nina's video. Nina, Friday. We'll see you on Friday.
Now her last name's gonna be changed, so when you Google that won't come up. She could have just been a pretty girl at the factory, would have found a nice guy, kind of rebuilt things, and she went back into the throuple, which oh my God.
That's like going back to Vietnam.
I know. It's like you get busted. The cops ram down the door. They find what? An ounce of cocaine in the house. They find guns. It's a fucking pigsty. The kids get taken away. And you go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to double up on being the side piece to the married guy who he and his wife are facing, a bunch of felony charges.
Aaron Virtue signals about all this fucking show. Oh, the filthy house and the children. But he didn't call CPS. He didn't call the cops. He didn't fucking snitch. He didn't do anything to help those kids or to help his wife. He just pieced out and saved himself.
I think that's where I want to take my life as I'm pushing 30. And by the way, guys, April doesn't do coke in the morning. She wakes me up, and you know what she says every morning? She leans in very tenderly. She goes into my ear and says, "Smoke crack with me, bro."
That's hilarious. See?
Oh, look at her face when he says that. Look at this.
And by the way, guys, April doesn't do coke in the morning. She wakes me up, and you know what?
Did you see her nose? Like her nose activated, and she snorted as he was saying that.
Yeah, look at this. Watch. Wow, by the way, but this woman sucks off Rekieta. That's crazy.
Blimey. Well, she doesn't even suck him off. She sucks the Balldo off.
Licks the Balldo.
Calling the shots around here, buddy.
Coke in the morning. She wakes me up, and you know what she says every morning? She leans in very tenderly.
What does she say?
She goes into my ear and says, "Smoke crack with me, bro."
That's hilarious. See, now if we had crack, maybe we wouldn't be tired in the mornings, even though.
Whoa!
We got
already. She was planning out her future as a dirty crack or gutter slut.
Or present. She's planning out her present.
Would, because crack lasts like.
Oh, really? It
crack burns. Oh my God!
How do you know that? See, I don't know this.
Snoop Dogg told me. When I was a little kid, Snoop Dogg told me
about crack.
Yeah, in his Behind the Music or whatever. He said, "Oh yeah, you smoke crack." It's
wow,
crack is fucking whack, kids. Stay off the crack.
That was the extended cut.
Okay, now this really might be the most disturbing of all. So we got to bear with this because for the first 50 seconds, Aaron, the attention whore, has got to show off his chihuahua or whatever. So let's bear with the wholly unbearable fucking cringe of this.
All right, here we go.
People want to see you, bud. Come here, Gordon. People are worried that
I am pro showing pets on shows. By the way,
no, Gordy's here.
I
he just
know
doesn't
you
like
are.
me.
Yeah. Gordy doesn't like Matt.
Speaking of which, we are only 24 subs away from the kitten goal.
Do you want to see my cats? They're crazy. They're wild childs.
Oh, why?
Just a good boy. Oh, Gordy's alive. Oh, Gordy's alive. Are you happy, buddy? You've gotten fatter. Yeah.
I'd hate to see what he looked like before he got fatter, because he looks like skin and bones to me.
You've gained a little weight because you've been eating properly.
Wait. So you hadn't been feeding the dog when you were at Rekieta's?
Yeah. The dog wasn't fed
Stop
properly.
It. Stop it.
He He just keeps dunking on himself over and over and over.
Oh my God.
Haven't been taking on the bad habits. of the
Aldo
people you've been hanging
Buster
out
has
with.
gifted 5
Let's
subs.
fucking go. Hell yeah. Big support. 3K watching. Fuck yeah, guys. Thank you.
So we're 19 away from the kitten goal. But
Wow.
this guy keeps taking like these little, oh, isn't it so cute and funny? And I'm making a reference to the whole situation. Ha 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 ha. It's not really so funny, man. You were directly responsible for it. You were a part of it. It's one thing when an outsider makes fun of it, but when you try and make a big joke out of it, to me, it just comes across as cringe. I think you should be ashamed of yourself. I think you probably should get the fuck off the air because you're a cuck bum who doesn't really have much talent anyway. And you're just embarrassing yourself, your family, and your children by continuing to talk about this stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And you've been gaining some weight. I am so happy that there is no more of that white powder that makes me run real fast around the other people's
So, like,
houses.
is it really a funny joke that your
Retarded.
dog got into the cocaine?
No, it's not.
Is it really funny? Because I kind of have a feeling he might have, and it's fucking disgusting.
You're such a good boy. You're such a good boy. Give them all of your money or else. All right, put your cock away.
Whoa, guys, dog penis. It's so funny.
You know what?
You don't find dog
laugh.
penis funny?
People have been, speaking of the Rekieta stuff, I'll throw a little more Rekieta red meat out there to people since they like that stuff.
Red meat?
So
Like, bro.
is red meat. Like, feeding the dogs.
Stop. That's a fucked up way to put it. Listen, y'all
But
want that?
he like torpedoes his own credibility on shit when he frames it that way.
Stop.
And it's like he comes to do the tell all interview with us, right? It's like, I'm gonna get it all off my chest, and I'm gonna tell you guys everything, and then like more details keep coming out every day that he omitted, either through official court documents or through his own testimony. So it's like, so you didn't tell the whole story when you had an opportunity to do so on like the 20 different fucking shows you went on, and we're supposed to believe you about everything. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, Nose Goblin for 2 subs. Thank you so much. Big support today. Fuck yeah.
So much. I've been wondering about something.
Go.
People have been asking about, like, they talked about what happened during the search warrant and during the search of the house and everything else. They were saying something like, the Rekieta family has a dog.
Oh.
And there's no mention of the dog in the search warrant. Like,
Yeah.
what happened to the fucking dog?
That's fucked.
Isn't that fucking grimy that we're at the point now, and it was just like an afterthought, that it's just been added on like 2 weeks after the fact of like, oh fuck, what happened to their little pug Sonny? Nobody knows. There's no proof of life.
This is crazy. Like, we made this joke before. I mean, it's not even a joke anymore about him. Like, Nick is now Ralph, right? Drugs, alcohol ruins your life. This, that. Now the dog, like Ralph left his dog when he went to LA and the dog died of hunger. So Ralph's a dog killer. It's fucked up. So Ralph should be.
We're going to have a look after
And now
this.
Nick's the same thing?
Well, Rekieta has kind of a history of this. After this clip, we're going to go back and we're going to hear about how he drowned raccoons. So rather than give them a quick death with like his hunting rifle or whatever, he just put them in this, he caught them in a cage and then he let them drown, which is like a really sadistic and twisted way.
That's fucked
to
up.
put down an animal. It's like one of the worst ways to die is to drown. And he's bragging about this on his live stream, drowning animals.
I had a buddy who I lived with for a bit, and we had a raccoon under the deck. We caught the raccoon using like fish and fucking like big cage, right? And we had, I had to drive the raccoon 30 minutes away. Because if you don't drive them that far away, they'll come back. So we drove them and we released them into the woods. We didn't drown them. Though I did hate that raccoon. It was a piece of shit.
Is that your dog?
It's alive.
Bro,
it's
I'm
fine.
sitting here worried because that dog, their dog Sonny,
Oh, yeah.
they had a little pug named Sonny.
Uh-oh.
That was Gordy's buddy.
Yeah.
And there was no mention of the dog in the search warrant. And the dog lived in the bathroom. They put They never potty train the dog.
Think of how sick.
Wait,
this
what?
is. So they never put the effort into potty training this dog.
What the fuck?
So the dog had no choice but to live its entire life in the bathroom.
What does that mean? Like you just had a trapped, closed door in the bathroom?
Yeah, they just locked the dog in the bathroom.
Lock
because
him up.
It would just shit all over the place everywhere. And the bathroom is where they were doing all the cocaine, all the cat, all the drugs, the brown,
Are
right?
you joking me?
So this dog was forced to spend the majority of its life in a filthy drug den bathroom. And they were doing drugs in a room where dog shit was everywhere.
What the fuck, dude? That makes me sad.
It's fucking grimy, man. And I've been around people like this who just let their dog just shit on the fucking carpet and they leave it for days, man. And it's like, this is the degeneracy of drug addiction. It's just fucking shameful.
That's actually
This is a $1 million home these guys are living in, bringing in kilos of cocaine, at least an ounce of cocaine that we know of. He was probably picking it up an ounce or maybe even a QP at a fucking time. And they're fucking letting their dog shit all over the floor. Like, you can't, money doesn't equal class. It's fucking total white trash, trailer trash, poverty, drug addict hour in the Rekieta household.
I'm actually pissed. Look, the kid thing, obviously I'm still pissed about
We're
that.
talking about kids and we're talking about dogs. They're helpless. They need somebody to help them. Like, there's a 6-year-old child, 6-year-old little girl in this fucking drug den, in this disgusting house, with no clothes to clothe herself and no food to eat. And there's a dog.
Just give the dog away.
Washroom shitting all over itself, potentially getting into drugs, hard drugs, cocaine everywhere.
Well, just
and
give the
people are
fucking
still
dog
sleeping
away
for this and giving it a pass.
Like, if you can't take care of the fucking dog, give it to a shelter or to another owner.
Oh,
like,
I know.
What the fuck is wrong with
And
you?
it's a pug too, which, by the way, like, pugs are always suffering because of the way that they've been bred. They can barely even fucking breathe.
Yeah, their nose. Yeah.
I don't even know. Like, I've always thought they're a cute dog, but like, I don't know if it's really ethical to own a fucking pug because of the fact that they can barely fucking breathe. And they're also pretty retarded, which is probably why they couldn't train the dog.
Yeah.
But they really should have just given the dog away rather than force it to live in these pathetic circumstances.
They're the George Floyd of dogs. Get
What's the
it?
dog doing?
Get it?
Rekieta wouldn't know what the dog's doing because it's locked up in the bathroom.
Terrible.
They'd never housebroken the dog, so they'd put puppy pads down in the bathroom, the same bathroom where the drugs would be,
What
where they
the
found
fuck?
the drugs, and that's where they would do them.
You don't even have to give me more reasons to hate Rekieta more, but you are. Every day, I'm like, I can't hate him even more than I hate him now. Oh, yeah, I can.
But like
sometimes
Aaron's a hero, by the way, who allowed the dog to live in these deplorable
Oh,
conditions.
man.
Who didn't say a fucking word until after the fact about this dog's welfare, but now he gets to come in and be a superhero and brandish a cudgel onto Rekieta. So you're equally as guilty. You were in the polycule. You were doing the fucking drugs, man. You were fucking Kayla and having your wife be fucked, and you're in the bathroom watching this dog shit all over the floor, man.
Yeah, and Balldo Buster, thank you. Let's also note that a dog needs to go outside. By the way, like potty train? You mean like go for a walk?
Yeah, and
A dog is not a cat.
Illusionary Stoplight brings up a good point. So the dog is in the bathroom with drugs where supposedly the kids have never gone. The kids never got to meet the dog?
Yeah.
Really?
What the fuck? But yeah, a cat is potty trained. It's got a litter box. Dogs, you walk them. And they go to the corner of a pole and they pee and shit. And you pick up the shit. And that's how they fucking pee and shit.
No.
What the fuck?
Somebody asked in the chat, it was a couple minutes ago. They go, well, why would the dog be in the warrant? Well, the dog wouldn't be in the warrant, but it would be in the incident report. Because in the incident report, the police have to list everything they see and do in the house.
What the dog doing?
So, like in the incident report, it talks about, okay, I saw this juvenile child in this room. I advocated for them to vacate the room, the house, and go to their mom, et cetera, et cetera. If the police found a dog in the house, it would detail how the police would, deal with the dog, whether they would bring it outside or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's not in the incident report.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. If they do mention the animal, it seems like they would.
I'd walk in there and there'd be like dog shit on the floor, and people are doing cocaine. And
Wait, you're doing coke with dog shit beside you?
Dog shit's on the floor. Like, they're not even cleaning up the dog shit. They're just letting it fester and sit.
What the fuck is going on?
Because getting their next hit of drugs is more important.
This is crazy. How does the story get crazier daily?
Well, don't we all know that it's the dog's fault? The dog should have been feeding and taking care of the kids. Why didn't the dog get a job to feed itself, the lazy fucking bum dog? Is this the next line of defense from the Jannies? Where does it end?
Doing?
Sorry, I have to hit that button.
Just like, guys, this is fucking disgusting. Come on.
It's a $900,000 home.
Can we not have the dog shitting on the bathroom floor?
Jesus Christ. Take care of your shit.
That really did annoy the piss out of me. But I didn't hear
really?
about
It
this.
annoyed the piss out. It annoyed the piss out of you.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It annoyed
I'm
you.
pissed.
It wasn't that it was like depraved and disgusting and you had to do something. You were just annoyed.
Oh,
that
but
your
Nina
your
Infinity, it's our
co-passion-
fault.
Yeah.
It's our fault. Animal abuse, child abuse, fucking.
Why didn't he at least clean up the dog shit? Instead of letting the dog stew in a fucking room all day in its own shit and piss.
Pray for Rekieta.
What a quality of life this animal had, having to stew in its own piss and shit for probably days at a time. Because if they didn't have the time to feed and take care of their children, why would they have time to feed and take care of a fucking dog?
Yeah, and by the way,
we just don't even know if the dog's alive or dead.
and now we've got them on a bond where they could do coke and drink more. We got the fucking April possibly there. We have all this shit. We have no one apologizing. We have them, in fact, defending their actions and blaming the fucking church, but still pray for them? Shut your fucking mouth. All of you. Nose guards. Die.
It's bad.
Die in a fire. You bitches. Fucking bitches. Why? What's the grift, by the way? I asked Ashton this. Is there money in defending Rekieta, a fucking bum whose YouTube channel gets 1/20th of the casino numbers now?
I know.
Are you fucking kidding me? Why?
It's all just a big conspiracy where they all defend each other. So they're sitting in the group chats, and it's like, well, if one of us gets attacked or one of us falls, then we have to defend each other. And so it's like this protection racket that they're in.
Racket?
Kind of like the mafia, where it's like, well, if we have loyalty to Don Balldo and Don Quartering, then they'll protect us when people fuck with us.
Yeah.
In the police report.
Yeah.
So now I'm worried that poor Sonny might, another one.
Oh my God. Oh, another one bites the dust. It's fucking animal abuse.
It's really bad.
I'm pissed.
No, everybody
we would
should
talk
be
about-
fucking pissed. It's really, really bad. It's really bad.
I'm disgusted. I'm fucking
imagine,
disgusted.
Imagine having the money and the opportunity that they have.
Just give the dog away.
Choosing to spend your time in a shit-encrusted, piss-filled washroom, snorting cocaine next to a hungry dog.
Give him the chair.
Seriously.
Seriously. Am so, I hope Nick gets better. I don't give a fuck. How about that? At a certain point,
I really don't care if he gets better. I just hope that the children are okay and that the dog is okay.
No, but Ash, it's not our responsibility
No,
to care if he gets better. It's his responsibility.
I know. But the blame and the responsibility keeps getting shifted to everybody else. To the point we're going to blame it on like something without sentience now. Was Eric July telling the dog to piss and shit on the bathroom floor?
It was Eric July's
use
fault.
Telepathic communications with the pug to rape its mind into doing this?
I am like, because you know me, I'm an animal lover, and it's just like, fuck Nick. Put him in. How about this? Lock him in the fucking bathroom for years and let him shit on the fucking floor and deal.
Well, I mean,
and live the same way.
Here is trying to say that we're all being retarded and we're acting like he molested them or
he
something.
Probably did.
I mean, I'm not going to say that.
I'm joking.
But I mean, they are charged with child abuse and neglect, pal. So
who
the
said
court
this?
views it. It's just some guy I've never seen in here before.
Retard.
But the court views it as serious enough to bring up charges. The children were going to their church saying they were hungry, they weren't being fed, they were stinking. There's a dog being left to its own devices to stew in its own piss and shit, locked in a washroom all fucking day. I'm sorry, I think people have a right to be fucking pissed, and the state has a right to bring charges, as they have. So, I don't know. I think that's fucking retarded, buddy.
Fuck.
About that from time.
What do we have here?
All right, so this is Aaron basically laying out. We may not watch all of this, but
sure.
He's laying out that the plan was for the Imholtes, him and April, to be moved into the other house the Rekietas have next door. So those of you who don't know, the Rekietas have two homes right beside each other. And the plan was to move Aaron and April into the other home, and that then as a polycule, the four of them in a like cock relationship, all four of them would raise the Rekieta children, and the Rekietas would also raise Aaron's children when they came over. And Aaron claims that he told them this was fucking delusional. His ex-wife would never accept this. People in real life would never accept this. There's no way to justify it.
He was right about that, if he said that. Now, and by the way, it's like, oh, we're going to raise the kids. No, there's no raising of kids. Like EVS, like Ethan Van Sciver would say, the 16-year-old has to raise all the kids while they do drugs and don't have orgies.
What this is a sex cult.
A sex cult, yes.
With Rekieta as the cult leader, convincing everybody, because they're fucked out of their mind on drugs, that it's a good idea to sacrifice their whole lives for him and their children, all on the altar of like sucking the Balldo, which is wild. So let's hear him out here.
Time to time, like, how do we tell our families? How do we tell our friends? It's like there's no fucking way.
Yes.
People are saying, what about those
what
people?
Secret Agent Orange says is right. They kicked their own family out of that house. So that house is like partially owned by the trust or whatever. So like family is supposed to be allowed to stay there when they're on hard times.
Yeah.
The Rekietas threw their extended family out of that house so that the cuckolds could come in and live in that house.
What
so they could have their polycule cult. Yeah.
That's retarded. Hey, leave that. Oh my God.
People that they kicked out of that house. April and I were supposed to move our family into that house.
Wait, let me hear that again. I gotta hear that again.
Our
Sorry.
families, how do we tell our friends? It's like there's no fucking way. People are saying, what about those people that they kicked out of that house? April and I were supposed to move our family into that house.
They kicked out some like close family members or friends.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh my God. Ugh. How big is this house? Do we know the house? Do we like?
It's probably also of a good size.
Yeah.
I'm upset about that. She's upset that she thinks I'm a mean guy. She thinks I'm a bad guy. She thinks I've made her life unlivable. Me talking about the arrest on the show has now made her.
Okay, this is all preview. I'm like, sorry. It's just like, you think the story's done. You've heard it all. And you're like, wait, what?
Life unlivable.
I think Aaron just keeps making a mistake, because if he was going to tell the whole truth, he should have just told the whole truth. But this whole drip feeding fucking bullshit causes him to lose credibility. He just keeps dropping new details days, weeks, maybe months later. Who knows how long this is going to go on for. He needed to, when he just came on our show, just be fully honest, fully forthcoming, and he wasn't. And so the truth is, he is going to get fucked, and he is going to get held accountable for this shit as well. I really wouldn't be surprised if there were charges brought up against him, or if at least in some way his life was really brutally inconvenienced by all of this bullshit. Guaranteed, because he's just handled it in the stupidest way possible, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
He really shouldn't have fucking said anything publicly. Would have been probably his best bet. But if he was going to, you need to just lay everything out exactly as it was at first. Because now it's like, where is the credibility on this cuckold?
Yeah.
Where is...
That's what she said. And I said, speaking of children, I said, if you had been home with the children and I, this wouldn't have happened to you. $2 says, April is a little Nick-er. No, that's not. Hey, nothing on the Streamlabs or PayPal, by the way. Let's go ahead and hook that up this morning, huh? Go ahead and throw a few...
Not even... So you reveal to the whole world that you're a Balldo licker, you're a cock, you're a fucking bum. You let the dog piss and shit all over itself. You let children go hungry and stinky. And even after all of that debasement, you just can't even make a buck on PayPal.
Bucks in. All the links are in the
Where's
chat.
the song from, by the way? Chat, do you know?
Some sort of video game.
Is that Mega Man?
BJ with $10 says, April could do a one-on-one intervention podcast series with her friends, Keanu,
Flashbang.
Matt, Lila, etc., but not Aaron. Yeah, I'll say that I don't think April and I want to have any dealings with each other. I'm a little, people think I'm sore about the way the disco thing ended. You got to remember, I wrote to them and said, I'm not coming back. This has gotten too complicated. It's too weird. I don't enjoy this. I'm going to hang out with my friends. It basically became, I had a choice, unfortunately, because in that lifestyle, you have to, like Kayla said, she goes, I want us to be a family and raise all of our children together.
Fuck. Isn't that fucked?
Yes, that's weird.
That this is something that's being brought up. And
want to be a family.
Is this all Kayla's doing? Or is it Rekieta getting her to do it? I don't fucking know. But that's crazy.
Well, they're off their head, right? So they're saying the most retarded shit. And this whole I want to be a family. It's like, it's your fucking drug buddies that you fuck. And now you want to be a family? Sorry, the word family is used very loosely in this situation.
It's disgusting and evil. The idea that, it's just anathema to me and my idea of, what a family should be and how children should be raised. The idea that children should or could be raised by 4 cuckold swingers in a drug lifestyle, fucked out of their mind. What sort of a childhood is that for kids? What sort of an upbringing is that for children? Guaranteed that's traumatic. Guaranteed that's going to stunt their development and their growth. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And the shame of it to have to say that you have 2 mummies and 2 daddies and a polycule.
What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
And I'm like, well, I have an ex-wife. That's extremely unworkable for me. And number 2, now I'm hanging out with my friends. I'm seeing a lot of people I haven't seen in a while, and I miss this. I want to go back to that.
Aaron. That's what was stopping you?
I mean...
not the fact that it's crazy? And oh my gosh. Okay, sorry.
You can't do both because... the world's not going to understand.
Yeah. It takes a village, Ash, of crackheads.
Yeah, it takes a village of crackheads. Yeah,
crackheads, right?
You guys are trying to pull off. So you're not going to be able to go out. We would talk about that from time to time. How do we tell our families? How do we tell our friends? It's there's no fucking way to explain that.
No,
without saying anything about the case itself.
Because it's
how could Nick Rekieta and Kayla actually believe that their friends and family would accept a polycule lifestyle?
Yeah,
this isn't they weren't living in fucking LA, by the way, or New York City or Seattle, Washington, or maybe San Francisco would accept this shit.
Or Ghana.
Maybe if you're living in the most degenerate liberal place on earth, San Francisco, I think maybe they'd accept it there. But you're talking about Spicer, Minnesota, a very small, conservative, rural Minnesotan town. They ain't never heard of no polycule there. Like, it's crazy.
Just talking about my life, people are saying, what about those people that they kicked out of that house? April and I were supposed to move our family into that house. Ugh.
By the way, isn't the fact that he acknowledges that you can't tell other people this means that it's so fucking insane that no one, in any way that you explain it, would accept it? Like, that should be the hint. No one would ever accept it. Maybe what we're planning is retarded and stupid.
Okay, Winter Soldier says, stop, Minnesota is a liberal state. Yes, it is a liberal state, but there are conservative areas of Minnesota. And, like, the old liberals that are there aren't the same as, like, West Coast liberals. I don't know. I mean, none of us are from Minnesota or whatever, but from the vibe I get, it's in rural Minnesota, it's not common to be in a polycule.
But
and be in
Ash,
a cuckold relationship. Like,
but wouldn't that even be more to your point? That even in that liberal state, even they're like, no, that's crazy. That's how crazy this idea is. That even liberals are like, are you fucking sure you want to do that, bud?
Like, reality set in for me at some point, and I'm like, fucking disco.
Someone said it's an Islamic state. Very funny comment there.
Can't do it. Like, reality set in for me at some point, and I'm like, fucking disco is unworkable. And I found
What's disco?
Oh my!
I don't
God.
know. I guess the polycule, he's calling it the disco.
Oh, okay.
This is some sort of new degenerate term I've not heard before.
Sounds rapey.
On the texts from Nick last night on my phone.
Just drop the text
read
messages. Like, stop dick teasing everybody. If you're gonna go all in on this attention, just drop the text messages, man.
Please.
Seriously, why not? Why won't you? You want to be open and transparent about everything, but I'm going to guess there's stuff in those text messages that incriminates him as well, or that he wants to control the narrative on. And right now, he's lucky because Rekieta isn't able to counter any of the stuff that he's saying.
Yeah, or he'll
so
be fucked, yeah.
Rekieta can't introduce his own version of shit that brings us closer to the truth, because when he goes live, he might fuck himself. Straight up. So Aaron just feels no need to get all these text messages out there. But if he wants to be forthcoming and totally honest, he should drop all the text messages.
I'm like, I don't think I can do this anymore. I'm sorry. It was worse. Like, whatever I told you guys, it was way, way worse.
What? Did you hear what he just said, Ash?
So whatever he's told us, it was worse then. So why don't you tell us just how bad it actually was?
Part 2.
Instead of being a lying attention whore telling half-truths.
Aaron has to come back onto the show. And
he may honestly have to fucking come back on.
Yeah.
Explain this shit.
I'm going to DM and go, if it's worse, we need to know now.
Just tell us.
We're gonna be angry and we're going to scream at you a lot, but it's worth it. Trust me. Chat, would you watch it?
Than the way I remembered it, to be honest with you. Holy shit.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't think April, if there was this one-on-one intervention podcast series that BJ's talking about,
no, so
first of all,
says,
I don't
so Guy Fieri here says, you guys snaked him, I don't know. Is it us that snaked him? Or did he snake us by not revealing the full truth like he said he was going to?
Yeah.
See, that's where I have a problem. Is that he didn't tell the whole truth to us like he promised.
And then we found out more shit
by
after.
Lying and delivering half-truths. And then he's like coming out with other stuff on other shows that he didn't say on our show. And on his own show, like milking this for everything it's worth. So it's not a question of for him getting the full truth out there, one time for all time, the truth will set me free. It's more, how do I ride this gravy train for every last dollar and crumb of clout I can, at the fucking risk of discrediting my own testimony against Rekieta. And that's what I have a problem with. So I don't think we snaked him in any way at all. He snaked us by not delivering what he promised.
I think April's
in fact,
interested in any of it
you
right now.
who snaked me, Aaron.
By the way, I had 2 people DM me. Thank you for sending me the Nina Infinity link. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
But she doesn't want to talk to me, and I don't want to talk to her. I'm very sore about the arrest because it has put me in a funky spot.
By the way, he understands. He understands why we're doing or saying what we're saying. We didn't. He's not delusional to think that we're gonna hear these stories and go, "You rule. We love you, bud." Like he knows what the fucking deal is. He's not that retarded. He's retarded, but he's not that retarded to the point where he's like, "We're BFFs now, right, boys? Let's go for a beer."
Kung Flu Wang has a pretty interesting take here in chat on Rekieta. He says, I would never condemn someone for having success or even being born into success, but I will absolutely condemn them for being retarded enough to throw away a traditional family structure, $2 million homes, and a steady career in favor of some lizard-brained impulse to indulge in the most base of human depravity, and I will quadruply condemn them for harming innocents to achieve their selfish desires. Fuck anyone willing to defend this nightmare, especially Aaron the martyr.
This thing where they're like, Aaron, all the talking you've done, it's made you a target, this and that. Number one, I already was. You know, anyone who thinks Aaron made himself a target, no, trust me. You know, I'm not going to say too much. I'm not running my fucking mouth. But believe me, no offense, guys.
You're saying an awful lot.
Oh, what the fuck?
What
I know
a
more
thing
about
to
it
say.
than you do.
And I just want to point out that for months and months and months, he lied to everybody saying there was no polycule, there was no drugs, da-da-da-da. So, like, you got to take that into account, too.
Trust me. Their behavior...
Do you think Stoney's bars, like, they're...
I don't know if they really want to be associated with all this stuff, but...
Do you think they have more, like, patrons now because of, like, the boost?
Oh, yeah. They got the cuck bump.
Stoney's the cuck bump.
Got me in a fucked up spot that now I had to navigate my way out of.
I'd love the owner of Stoney's to come on the show and let us know, like, the post. Like,
and you know, I had to fucking rub dirt on myself. It's like the Walking Dead thing. I had to rub zombie guts on myself to get past the zombies. It wasn't pleasant.
Listen,
what is wrong with this guy's brain?
I had to do coke, and I had to fucking be in this orgy to get the fuck out, like zombies.
So I'm upset with her for that because I warned them. I said all these things. Whatever. Moving on.
Yes, extra large.
There is. Yes, extra large. There is.
About that. She's upset that she thinks I'm a mean guy. She thinks I'm a bad guy. She thinks I've made her life unlivable. Okay, fine. That's okay. There, my whole thing became there ain't no good guy, there ain't no bad guy. There's only you and me, and we just disagree.
So, by the way, like that's a pro wrestling like line that he's using to describe his marriage. There is no good guy, there is no bad guy. Roman Reigns, the guy. Like I don't know if you want to paraphrase wrestling to describe your marital status. It's a bit cringe, bud. Just saying.
If there's this one-on-one intervention podcast series, I don't want to be a part of it. She doesn't want me to be a part of it.
Wait, what? Please, Aaron, do it.
Okay, I understand it may also be from a song, but this guy's a pro wrestling guy, and I know that's what he's referencing, okay?
Yeah. But wait, no, Ash, I want him to do the intervention podcast. Right?
Yeah.
I'd kill for that.
We need the intervention
podcast. Wait, is April going on an intervention podcast?
There's no way.
If she is, that's going to be wild. Fuck, why
intervention podcast series. I don't want to be a part of it. She doesn't want me to be a part of it. I've had my intervention series with
the Kino Casino
with April.
Oh, sorry.
It was extremely painful. I'd rather not go through it again. And make bank gradually.
Aaron, please do it. We want subs. I want
Yes,
I
we
want
some
those
content.
I want
buddy.
the YouTube views and subs, please, Aaron.
Tackling her demons and rebuilding bonds with people who care. Can I tell you something? Let me tell you someone who really does care.
Okay.
Who really gives a fuck and
Right.
is an amazing friend to both of us.
Who?
And that's Keanu Thompson and Gino Bisconti.
Oh my God, we have to keep hearing
Oh
about Keanu.
man, we have to hear about these irrelevant nobody hacks who all think they're Opie and Anthony like every fucking.
No, wait, no.
How about this Opie and Anthony
No,
hack?
I
And
don't.
this Howard Stern ripoff. They're my real friends.
Look, I don't know Gino. I know I've seen Keanu
I have
on
no
his
idea
show.
who they are.
Apparently, she felts him all the time on the show. Keanu.
Okay.
You know, Gino ain't got money. Is this true? I don't know Gino. I don't know who that is.
Unbelievable friends to both. You know, Gino and Keanu are the walking evidence of what can be when there's a breakup and how to handle the friend thing.
What?
If I ever told Keanu in a million years,
Did they break up? I thought they were getting married.
So no, him and April have divorced, right? But these friends are still friends with both of them and have managed the perfect way to. Honestly, are we really going to go through this? We might move on from this clip.
I love this.
All right, we'll go a little bit more longer.
Chat, what do you all think?
There's one other Aaron clip.
Someone goes, what the fuck? Okay, do you want us to move on? I'll do a poll. I'll hit play and I'll do a poll.
There's one other Aaron clip to do. I think let's do the next clip because we've already got from this what the main point was, which is that there was, the four of them were going to raise the kids together and it was crazy.
Well, you don't like the drama between Keanu and Gino Bisconti?
I just don't give a shit about that, and I don't think anybody else does either.
All right.
And then we also have a lot more Rekieta-related stuff to get through as well with Barnes and the Locals Co.
Okay.
So
look,
there's a lot of material here, and we're already 2.5 hours in.
I can sit here for 8 hours watching this and shitting on people. It's awesome.
I saw that something made Kiwi Farms.
Who's this? Did Johnny change? Did he shave his head? It's not the same guy. Who is this guy?
Today, just before I
don't
came
know.
on. Yeah.
Does he have a new co-host every day?
Why is it that all of his co-hosts have the cuckold phenotype?
I don't know. I don't even know. This guy has no features minus glasses, by the way.
Yeah. Something made
Patrick, I know it's a different person, obviously.
Kiwi Farms that I talked about it today. I swear to God, I thought I've talked about this before.
Some hot goss.
I didn't think it was hot goss.
No?
No, I didn't. I thought I'd mentioned it before.
Can we just all admit that the phrase hot goss is incredibly cringe and gay?
And throw it in the trash.
Just throw it in the bin, diddler dad. The hot goss! Okay.
I hate that.
The plan was during our degenerate polycule that we had when we were doing disco.
Yes.
Oh,
Sorry.
man. The degenerate polycule.
Is disco coke?
Having to admit, disco is coke. I've now learned this from our chat. But imagine you have to admit to people that you were in a degenerate polycule. As though there is such a thing as a wholesome polycule, by the way, but holy. It's just so sad.
When we were doing disco, that April and I were going to buy the house next to Nick and Kayla that their trust owns.
That was the first time I heard it as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I'd mentioned it before.
Yeah. I was like, holy.
So that they were going to buy that house.
No, he was.
So now,
he knew? This guy knew?
He knew that also. Interesting. So I love. So it's not even that they were going to be moved in and be rent-free on the Rekieta's charity or whatever in that house. The plan was actually for them to buy that house, which is interesting to me because it contradicts his insurance story even more. It's more likely that he set that as the new address because his plan was to close on that property when he could.
To be fair, the address was actually Rekieta's P.O. box where people send in their gifts or whatever.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, and Kayla,
oof, you were going hard.
Yeah. Because I remember Kayla would say, I want us to, raise our children together and this, that, and the other thing. And
this, that, and the other?
By the way, if the house is in the trust, how could he buy it also? Wouldn't they need like the signing off of fucking the Rekieta parents? Something doesn't seem right, or the signing off of whoever manages that trust in order to sell that property
Maybe
to the polycule couple. Like something doesn't add up with this whole story, man.
Well, the only thing that could add up is they were just so high on coke that they were just saying, "Oh my God, what if you move there?" You're like on coke. You may say some ideas that are retarded. So
Yeah.
That way. And like my thing is like,
yeah, a coke plan. Those I remember those. Smart skis on the nose. Yeah, I think it's a coke plan.
when you're in the throes of it with somebody, you're like, especially if you're an emotional fuck like me.
Yes.
And you're like eyeballs, what you think is eyeballs deep in love. You're like, yeah, that sounds wonderful. That sounds great. But at the same time, my marriage was
love
falling
with
the fuck.
another man's wife. Like, it's so grime, dude.
This
All right,
this is really fucked, dude. Yeah, we have to finish this.
Like, it just, like I said, April was going this way, I was going that way.
And you were kind of, you were not quite veering yet.
It was veering.
It was a little veering.
I would say after Easter.
Oh, okay.
Started veering.
Yeah.
And even before that, we were fighting about drugs.
House talk came
Yeah,
in
we
there.
were fighting about drugs before that. But we were going to make that
all
work.
right.
Mm-hmm.
I've
think
lost them.
He notes Easter as the turning point, which I find interesting because that's when Rekieta did that whole big sermon against Easter and against Christianity that was totally blasphemous, that supposed Christians like Melanie Mack sweep for or whatever.
Yep.
But there must have been something that happened, some sort of intervention with the church around that time. And then also, if he's telling the truth here, pressure from within the polycule to stop that probably led to his insane, drunken, coked out rant. Right?
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I'm really losing the wind in my sails for this fucking clip. Are you?
Yeah, a little bit.
And I just started bringing up things like, my ex-wife will fucking murder me. There's no goddamn way in hell. She's not going to drive any further to meet with the kids. How do I put my 3 kids in this situation? Like, whenever we talked to them about it, they were like, no, I don't want to do that.
Bob
Fuck
has
that.
gifted 5 subs. I just want to get to one specific line in here that's very embarrassing for Rekieta, so we're just going to power through. There's 2 minutes here, guys. Just hit play.
Okay, okay.
Noise. They didn't say fuck that noise. They're very young. But they would say, no, I'm not doing that.
It would have been appropriate if they did.
Like, if anything, people talk about, like, Aaron, I'm glad you recognize your mistakes and you're working on them and you're trying to get better.
Yeah.
Like, my kids also pulled my head out of my ass.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, we're not fucking doing this. This sucks. I hate this.
Analogy is.
Yeah, I didn't know that I hadn't shared that before.
I don't ever remember hearing that.
I
no.
thought I had put that out there. And then, yeah, when I said I wasn't coming back and it got brought up, I thought we were going to raise our kids together. I'm like, how the fuck is that going to work?
Logically think about it.
The minute you're out, you start, like, it's like cold water splashing on your face. Like, I keep telling people, it feels like I'm one of those cult members who left, like, Jonestown.
Yeah.
Was that
because
it?
once I
No.
hit the fresh air of reality again in the real world, because you got to kind of shut off to everything to be in a situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, consider.
Listen, I had a call. I was brainwashed, and when I walked out that door, then I woke up. No, it was 7 weeks later.
You really have to fucking be on some hardcore copium,
Yeah.
Consider, like, if April's still with the Requietas, they can't fucking go to church anymore.
No.
They can't go out in the community
They didn't
anymore.
want
You
to
gotta
go
fucking
anyway.
move.
Look.
The thing is, like, Rekieta didn't care about the church. He didn't care about his children. He didn't care about the community. He doesn't even care about leaving his house. He just wants to be drunk and high and swinging all the time. All right, let's finish this off.
All right.
At that point. But, like, if it's the 4 of us, they already thought we were fucking weirdos. So, like, this whole community, like, you got to remember, I'm an extrovert. You know me. I love being around people. I love being around my friends. I love being around my family, shit like that. That life was going to kill me.
Yeah.
It was going to drive me nuts. Or I was going to turn into some weird, like one of the sparrows in Game of Thrones. I don't know.
No, we saw on
What
an
a
internet
retard.
stream
What a
you would've turned
reference,
into.
by the way. Why does it keep
You know
fucking
what? That's a
doing
good
that?
point.
That's exactly the path you
So
would
Who's
annoying.
to say I wouldn't have started going?
It's a pretty good
I could have
impression.
ended
of
up
it.
That actually is. That is really good.
I'll give him that.
That is.
like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I would have lost my kids for sure.
Oh, fuck yeah.
My kids would have been fucking Gonzola. Yeah, she told me that I was
There it
the
is.
best kisser she'd ever been with.
Nick's. So he's talking about
Nick-
Kayla.
So Kayla apparently, according to him, is saying that he is the best kisser she's ever been with.
Oh.
But it gets worse for Rekieta somehow.
And the person she put in second was not Nick, and I'm like, that's fucking cold.
Stop it, Rekieta. Rekieta, not even the second best kisser she had been with.
Are you shocked?
Not really.
Maybe it was one of the black
Hey,
dudes.
Was it Drexel? I have a feeling it was Drexel.
Yep.
Old bitch. That's fucking
Which
brutal.
lips were you kissing?
So that's what I wanted to get to.
That was worth it.